Got something really exciting for everyone today. We're going to look at remastering one of the original classic Game Room episodes. And we'll pick out a unique one that has a very unique problem with it, which is one of my favorites, the Omega Boost episode, which we have the studio footage here on a Betacam SP tape, along with some of the studio footage from other episodes like Bionic Commando, Xevious for the PlayStation, and Crazy Taxi and Yar's Revenge. But what's missing is the edited version of Omega Boost, because 8 years ago, evidently somebody misfiled the edit of Omega Boost. Therefore, we have to actually recreate it, which is abnormal. Now, I don't know who misfiled the Omega Boost episode, but if I ever find them, since it was probably me, I'll be very upset. We have a vault with all of our internet television archives of thousands of tapes, so I am really at a complete loss as to where I misfiled the Omega Boost edit. But let's look at how we actually remaster one of these when the edited version is not all on one handy tape, which really makes life a lot easier, because then I don't have to reassemble the damn thing. So we start with the studio footage from when Dave and I recorded the episode in the studio with the green screen, and we have this on Betacam SP. In fact, there's already a tape in there. What surprise lurks in the Betacam deck? Hey, it's Asteroids, which we recorded on 12/15/1999. So now that gets properly filed, so that doesn't get lost. And we'll put in the studio tape here. First thing to do is to actually find the episode on the tape, and since we would shoot numerous episodes onto one tape in the studio, often back to back in order to conserve time and tape stock, and that appears to be the Bionic Commando episode. And so here you see is the entirety of the studio footage for the Omega Boost review from the classic Game Room. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. We hear you.
1 2 3. Testing. Testing. Testing.
And testing 1 2.
And I'm testing 2. And we're gonna start at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If we look over here, we can see the footage actually being digitized into the computer.
Coming at you from space. Yach.
Testing.
Testing. Testing. 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2. All right.
Good.
What I'm currently doing is digitizing all of the footage into the editing system for the entire episode, all of the studio footage, that is, and then I will assemble all of that together right here and make the new edit of Omega Boost. Now, we are missing the video game footage. However, conveniently, I still own Omega Boost for the PlayStation that was used in this game review. And it is in fact one of the best video games that was ever released on the PlayStation 1, and was made by Polyphony Digital, the same company that makes the Gran Turismo series. Now, as I said, we're missing the original game footage with the voiceover and narration track from Dave and myself. And I don't have the actual completed edit of Omega Boost, but I do have a compressed media file that we made 8 years ago, which is what the files were made from for the internet versions, which is sadly not very big. But from this compressed version, I am going to pull the audio that we originally made 8 years ago, and I'm going to lay the old audio, although it's compressed and not ideal, it's at least somewhat intelligible. So I'm going to pull that old audio and then lay it underneath the new video that I'm going to get while actually playing Omega Boost again 8 years later now in 2008 to match up as best as I can with the original edit of the episode. Again, this is not normal. Normally I would just pull it from the actual edited tape, but since I was an idiot 8 years ago and it's probably stuck in a different box for a different show somewhere in our vault, it won't get found until 2028, at which point it'll be too late anyway, because then you'll probably want these things in three-dimensional holographic download or something. Just because it's interesting, this is what the original low-speed version of the streaming media file looked like in the year 2000. This is what people would have to watch the game room episodes in if you had a 14.4 modem, for instance, because it couldn't move any faster than this. So that's pretty great. You can crush Dave's head with your fingers. That's my head. Dave's head.
Watching a show with me. Check it out. We're in space. You're not. Game room sucker.
All right, now that I have my footage, I'm going to drop it in here. You can see I now have the entire episode in space age stereo sound.
Coming to you live from space.
And I'm going to take it from the beginning, chop off the end. I'll go grab my game room intro from the previous episode, copy that, paste that down, slide it over, and I'll end up patching on a different game room intro to actually replicate what the original one would have looked like. I'll pull the one over here from Xevious. Line that up over there. It's going to require some type change, obviously, which I don't have my original font anymore, so I'm going to need to recreate that in some way and drop in some funny music.
From space. They did it well.
Yes.
So no
They did it with
complaints.
style.
No complaints at all for Omega Boost.
So it is it's a blatant ripoff, cross between Robotech and Panzer Dragoon. It went places that Panzer Dragoon didn't, and it's got, I wouldn't say better graphics, but about the same level of graphics, but just different style.
It went to Ohio and back. Let's show the footage.
And I'm going to chop it there. This is something you don't see in most of the game room episodes. Note that it keeps going because we just kept talking. Let's see where this one goes. What genius things do we come up with behind the scenes?
Went to Ohio and back. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Now on the editing system, what I'm going to do first is to drop the compressed media file on top of the actual studio footage from the Betacam SP tape. We can watch that on the monitor. Right away you can see the size difference, so obviously we couldn't use the compressed file to actually represent the real episode.
It's the game room coming to you live from space.
I can sync that up a little better just to match it, although I'm going to use the studio footage for this section. That'll help me get the game footage aligned properly.
It's the game room coming to you live from space.
It's a blatant ripoff between that sort of gameplay of
These
Panzer Dragoon and the
two audio
sort of
tracks are
next
lined up
storyline
perfectly.
of Robotech. But anyway, the game itself is excellent.
It went to Ohio and back. Let's show the footage. Hey kids, this is Omega Boost, and remember, if you...
Now I'm starting to lay in the newly captured game footage over the old game footage from the compressed file and starting to line these up to match the scenes. Obviously the gameplay won't match perfectly because I can't play the game identically like I did before, but we'll match up by scenes. So we'll take a closer look here at exactly how I'm matching the edits up. It's all terribly exciting. I'll show you how we're going to line up the shots between part 2 and part 3, since there's an animation clip with a little guy flying his Omega Boost ship, and there's a hard cut in the animation that I'm going to pick up and match that identically. See here, that's the compressed file, and then I have laid in there behind it the new footage, and I'm going to be moving the new footage around to match a cut. And the cut I'm going to try to match is that one. We're going to pick this guy up right here on the cut. Going to push in, take the end off of that, and then we're going to line that up right here in between there. Mark it, move the footage, and we now have perfect sync.
All these different sound effects are just weird.
There's the homie. That's you. You're the average white Joe. And
Going to save the universe.
And then you can see I've laid in a bit of part 3 right there, right after it. So we're getting a nearly perfect seamless blend between new and old footage. So once I get all these shots lined up, I may make a few editorial changes. For instance, I think I'm going to cut off the original footage here and instead grab some footage of the end boss from level 2, which I, for whatever reason, did not do the first time around, and he looks pretty cool, so I think we can throw him in there. Try to get something with lots of explosions. Explosions always look great on screen, so.
Thanking you for watching the show.
Polyphony.
Check it out. We're in space, and you're not.
What may not come across so well anymore, since it's been a few years, is this is actually one of the first episodes that we used the green screen and that in the background of the planet Earth, and the one that we'd made, I think right before this. This must have been the second one that we had the green screen. The episode that we made right before this was the Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600, and we were all really excited because we got to get off the planet Earth finally, which we really didn't because we were still stuck in our studio, but it sure allowed us to be a lot more creative with our locations and the backgrounds and whatnot. So the whole thing with the space references is that we're coming back from the planet Hoth. So the episode is about done. But I got to clean up the audio just a bit, fix some levels, put the beginning and the ending on it, and then we'll take a look at it when it's done. Gonna go in here to audio effects, stereo, and drop on some dynamics, EQ, adjust the dynamics. And now I'm finally done. I'm going to render the file. These are the exciting behind the scenes shots they don't show you normally. Lots of button pushing. Basically, if you don't like computers, you wouldn't like this job. We recorded this originally in February of 2000. And now in April of 2008, it's finally done again. It's great to know that 8 years after we made the original classic Game Room episodes that they're finding a new audience and that people are enjoying them. And also I'm glad that the original audience that remembers the show from back in the day is finding it online and hopefully enjoying it as well. So thanks to all you guys and girls for leaving us comments and letting us know what you think of the shows. And I'm having a lot of fun putting these back up online and bringing out the new stuff with the HD series. So hopefully Classic Game Room will be sticking around for a while since we have 30 years of video games to continue reviewing and enjoying with all of you. So thank you. Now, Mega Boost remains a terrific game even today, and one that really should have been remade for the PlayStation 2. If you can pick this game up, Omega Boost is a lot of fun.